One would wonder that it was incompetent service that was causing my losses. I would never have believed that there is a thing called incompetent service that would prevent a woman from getting to a full term in pregnancy and just cause the pregnancy to just be delivered pretermly. Like you do not have control over it, your doctor have no control over it. That was where I found myself. On my last video, if I dive into it, please, if you're just seeing this video for the first time, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share with at least your family members. You never can tell who you would be helping with this information. Just so you know, I have had 7 pregnancy miscarriages before I had living babies, and I'm speaking of my fourth pregnancy. And this time around, I already know what incompetent service is, but I do not have knowledge. I have no proper knowledge of the management, of the types of cyclage and all of that. I never had this information at this point in time. This was in 2019. I got pregnant. I was happy as well, preparing for the cyclage. Registered in the general hospital just so I could get special care. I could get proper attention from the doctors, as you have more hands in the general hospital compared to a private hospital, which I used for the previous cyclage. While at it, a doctor I met was very, very passionate. He was very, very concerned with my case. He took it upon himself to ensure that I got booked for my cyclage, and it was to place the cyclage. But unfortunately, on the day of the cyclage, I think he had an emergency and he was unable to place the cyclage. So his senior colleague placed the cyclage. To me, every cyclage is a cyclage. Cyclage has been placed. All I need to do is take things easy. It was placed. I stayed in the hospital for some days after, just so I'm well monitored. I think 2-3 days after the placement. Then returned back to my house to continue my bed rest. So I was working. I think I was working in the office. I was going to work, but I avoided a lot of things because this time around nobody told me about bed rest. I'm trying to ensure that I'm not missing everything up. This time around I was asked to take things easy, so I took time off from work. That was my first actual bed rest request from work, to work from home. Then there was nothing like working from home as it is now that everybody's working remotely. Then there was no remote work. It was before COVID came. So I requested a work from home. Thank God for my boss that was very understanding. I got medical reports and it was approved by my boss, and I was working from the house. Mind you, all I know is work from home. There were no medications to support this pregnancy. I was just pregnant and taking things easy from the house while I work. Yet again, I got to the 18 weeks, which is usually that stage where you're frightened, you're scared of what's next, what's going to happen. But as God would have it, I was lucky to scale through 18 weeks. Wow. I got to 20 weeks. Wow. Then, while I was still rejoicing on my milestone, never not knowing what would be ahead of me, at 21 weeks, the same thing that happened the first time happened. I started feeling the pressure, like crazy pressure down there, like something want to pull out. Like you need to let this thing come out. I was taken to the hospital. My water broke. Ammonic fluid was empty. Like there was no ammonic fluid for the baby in there. The best advice was evacuate. We can't keep the baby in there because baby will not survive. And to ensure that you do not get infection and all of that, sepsis and all of that, you need to evacuate. That was the advice by the doctor, and I was evacuated. A pain that you do not wish on anybody. That's a pain. I don't wish it on my enemy. You get to be evacuated. You get to be evacuated. They have to also evacuate the placenta because obviously you didn't birth the child. You didn't deliver the child, so they have to take out the placenta as well. Forcefully and all of that, with the pain and everything you have to go through. So obviously you have your body recognizes that you have delivered, you have given birth. The painful part I've not even spoken about in my other videos is the fact that your breast will produce milk because the body recognizes that you have delivered. Your breast will be full, waiting for a child to suckle. Crazy. While you are tending to your body, you are tending your body recognizes the fact that there is a child missing, something missing. What's not happening? Then you have to work on ensuring that that engorged breast has to stop producing milk. So whatever you need to do, you do to ensure that it stop producing milk and your body is able to return back to the way it was. Mind you, some of this period of time, you're alone. When a woman puts to bed, she's catered for. She goes through the process of massage, water massage, hot water bath, and all of that. But there is nothing like that. You have to pick up yourself again. Within some weeks and all of that, you have to return back to work. What people tell you is, oh, sorry, you had a loss. Oh, that baby was not meant to be. Don't worry. You're young. You have opportunity to have more kids. You don't have to worry too much. You don't have to cry. Why are you crying? You have another baby. Those are the comments you hear from people, but they don't understand. The baby was meant to be, please. I don't take it when people say that baby wasn't meant to be. My 7 kids, they were meant to be. My 7 babies, they were meant to live. They were meant to live. It is incompetent Cervix that was my enemy. They were coming to this life, obviously, so they were meant to live. So when people talk about, or when people comfort women that have had a loss to say, oh, sorry, you have another one, this one was not meant to be. Please, if you're one of those people, stop doing that. Stop doing that. This woman is going through a loss. She's going through pain. The shoes she's wearing, you can't understand it except you have worn that shoe. You cannot understand it except you have worn that shoe. I've worn that shoe, so I know how it feels. Right? So, all of the process of healing and the body have to bounce back and all of that. People don't see the pain. People don't see the pressure that comes with it. The silent cries, the stages of grief. It's a lot. Some want you to grieve in silence. Some don't even want you to grieve. Whichever way you decide to grieve, if you're going through this journey, grieve the way you feel comfortable to. Grieve the way you feel okay to. It is okay to cry. It is okay to scream if you want to scream, if you want to shout. It is okay, whichever way you want to. But what I would advise you is that you don't wallow in that pain. You don't wallow in self-pity. You need information. You need to pull yourself together and beat the culprit, which is incompetent Cervix. That is the culprit. That's the enemy. And that's the reason why I'm putting this video out there, for women to be informed, for the word to be out there, just like people know about fibroid. People need to know about incompetent Cervix. Yes. It's not a disease. It's not a sin. It's not a virus. Some persons are born with it. Some are due to instrumentation. Some are just based on the fact that they've had forceful delivery that have led to it. So anybody can come down with incompetent Cervix. There are people born with it. So do they blame God for it? They were formed that way in their mother's stomach. For only God knows the reason. So let's be informed. Let's have this information. Share this video so that the woman out there would know and be informed of what her issue is, because a lot of people do not know what their condition is all about. Right, share this video. I'm going to be dropping my next video very soon. Until then, please stay connected and share this video, comment and like. Thank you.